Heads up, guys. Before we get into this episode, we want to let you know we touch on some heavy stuff, including sexual assault and the dangers women face. We always keep it real here, but we know those things can be tough to hear. If that hits close to home, please take care of yourself while you're listening. Then had to come out and come home and get everybody in check.
Together real quick. But no, I had to ban somebody today because like last week when I closed, he closed with us. So we go around, we gotta let people know we close in 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We close at 10 o'clock. It's 10:10. He was like, I know what time it is.
Oh, it's 10:10.
Oh, you did? But motherfucker, you know what time to go then.
Right.
Like, we got to clock out. We waiting on you now.
Right.
And then he goes to the bathroom.
Oh, no. We ain't got time for that.
Bro, listen.
So, fast forward, me and Rissa go out for drinks that night. I see him in the club. I said, so we trying to get to the same place, but you holding me up. And he was like, oh, my bad, bro. Let's go have a drink. No, I'm good.
No, bro.
No.
Today, he tried to pull the same thing. So I told, I don't want to say my employee, one of my associates, to go let him know that it's time to wrap up. It's past 7 o'clock. He was like, I know what time it is. He was like, I don't need you telling me if they already told me. I said, well, I told him to tell you. So you don't need to fuss at him. Come fuss at me. And I had to tone it down because I forgot I was at work for a second. Because it's a little young kid. He like 18. You're not about to like go off on him. Like, you're an adult. You know what time it is.
Right.
So, yeah. It was a little bit of exchange.
I would have been done when I told him it was time to go and he went to the bathroom to take a dump. He would have been banned right
how
there.
Like, you so disrespectful,
Right.
bro. Like,
right.
Yeah. And I should have banned you that day.
Right.
But I'm still giving you grace and being nice, but you pulled the same thing again a couple days later. Nah.
Right. Nah, we ain't doing that. No.
So, but yeah, that's my little work drama today.
You good. Work drama. Work drama. That's why I like to work for myself. So,
bro, listen, that's why I've been doing it for so long. So going back to work for somebody.
Man.
Yeah, it's different.
For real.
I'll be thinking about it, but then I'm like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I told Rissa, I said, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna last. I'm gonna mess with it for a little bit. I said, but I don't know because this ain't it.
This ain't it.
Derek acts like he can make his $600,000 a year working.
Bro, listen, I don't know where this rumor started.
Working for yourself.
I do okay, but I dang sure ain't nowhere near Chris or that $600,000 mark. So
I'm trying to get there too. Shit.
Right. I'm trying to get there, but I ain't there yet. Well, welcome back to the MAJO Podcast, Real, Raw, Unfiltered. This is a show where married men talk honestly about marriage, fatherhood, and manhood with plenty of laughs and some real conversations most guys don't usually have out loud. Before we get started, if you're listening, I need you to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you're listening at. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, X, all the socials at the MAJO Podcast. Before we start the conversation, let's introduce ourselves. Same three from last week. We had a late cancellation, so we had to bring Chris back. But for those who are new to listen, maybe hopefully listeners 6 and 7 joining us this week. I'm Derek. I'm a dad of 7, including 4 daughters. So when we talk about the subject we're talking about today, I definitely have some real life experience with that. So, Jason.
Yes, sir. I'm Jason. I am a father of 2 girls and a boy. I have 2 granddaughters, so I also can weigh in on this. Been married for 25 years. I don't know how, but I have been. So here we are.
And I am Chris. I am a father of 5, 2 girls, 3 boys. Yes, I got a lot to say on this conversation. So yeah,
good.
Oh, and been married for 12 years and some change. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. So I've been married 25 years too. I guess I didn't say that. And I got 3 boys as well. But so now that you all know who's here, let's get into tonight's conversation: raising girls in a world that's nuts. So when you first hear this, I'm curious for both of you. When you first hear this title of this episode, like, what's the first thought that comes to your mind about raising girls in a world that's nuts?
Creeps. Number 1 on my list is creeps, weirdos.
Yeah,
and they fall in line together.
Mine is a double entendre. So the world is nuts because right now it's nuts with ladies getting their everything attacked, and everybody's got ideas on how ladies should do things with their bodies or shouldn't do things with their bodies. It's none of their damn business. But also in a world of nuts, because believe the men outnumber the women, and when women want to try to do things, and men are in the way some of the time. So there's two ways you can go down that street. So I
Right.
for one am of the opinion that if you don't have female parts, you can't tell a female what to do with their parts. So that's kind of the way
That part.
my daughters should have free reign to be able to do what they need to do and want to do, and is medically necessary.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's yeah, all that. Same for me.
Yeah.
All that same for me. I mean, it's I think you don't get it till you have a daughter, but you start to see and realize just how much creepiness is out there. And but let alone the political stuff aside for right now, but
Right.
like just the creepiness of other dudes and men out there in the way. Interestingly enough, like the thought just came to my mind too, is like also thinking about how before I had daughters, how I used to talk.
Yeah.
And then thinking about how that's changed since I've had daughters. And like even when I go to check myself saying something and I'm like, oh wait, like I shouldn't be saying that. Like I got 4 girls. Like you know what I mean? Like, but think about like teenage boys, how they look at girls, talk about girls, and then you have a daughter, and it's like complete shift. It's
Yeah. Yeah. And
mhm,
I think I've always been the honest person and the straight up friend, especially like being a teenager and my homegirls was dating older guys. I deaded it. Nope. I'm gonna let your mama know because that's not happening.
mhm,
That's not cool. That's not okay. Like I've been like an advocate since I was a kid. So like,
mhm.
yeah, I can't go for it. And
Yeah.
it's the way these sick men are now. It's just it's insane.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wild. So a couple of questions came to my mind of like just kind of before we really jump in, but I'm curious. So what is all of us having daughters, what is one thing that your daughters know way more about than you do? And it doesn't have to be real deep, just thinking like what is something that your daughters know way more about than you do?
How to be a girl? like
I mean, off top, right? Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, mine are low key divas.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah, that's how mine have been. Mine, yeah, mine definitely know. They know how to do that better than me, and they also know how to. They also are very well adept at shielding us as parents from the things that really happen to them or things that they get themselves into. A lot of times.
Mm.
Right.
Mhm. Mhm. I think mine know how to have like approach conversations better than I do. Even though I'm a
Mhm.
therapist and I'm learning, like
Right.
I look back when I was first in grad school and stuff like that, and I think about the way that my daughters would approach me and try to have conversations. And it was like they were young and they already kind of like, "Hey, Dad, we need to talk. Like, I want to talk about this thing." And so I think it just came to me like I think they know how to like approach and have those difficult conversations better than I
But
do.
that came from good parenting.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? That came from them being able to be comfortable to have that conversation with you like that, or to approach it like that. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, for
they felt
sure.
safe in a safe space to be able to do that. You know what I mean? So that's amazing.
Yeah, for sure. I do say that because I mean, I think me and Jason were talking about it. Maybe it might have been something else, but like thinking about giving them more space than what we were given to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because even like it's just expressing something or questioning something that didn't make sense when I was growing up, at least. I'm sure it was the same for you all. It was like, don't talk back.
Yeah.
You
Don't
know?
talk back or stop being grown.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm just being honest. I'm not being grown.
Right, and it'd be just be questions like, "That
Like,
doesn't make sense, like, help me understand it. Why are
yeah,
you talking back? Don't talk
yeah,
back. You do it because I say so." And it's like, that's
Yeah.
now as a parent, I'll let my kids kinda have that space to be like, "That doesn't make
yeah,
sense." Okay,
Well,
well
because that's the thing. Like I have analytical children, so I can't just say because I'm the parent and I say so, because they're gonna be like, "The what?"
mhm,
Like I have to break it down. Like I have to explain shit. But that's why Jordan's mind works the way it works, because he's been an
mhm,
analytical child since he was very small. And my youngest
right,
granddaughter is the same damn way. She'll be like, "But why? Like why? Explain." But if I break it down to her and tell her why and ask her if she
mm,
understands what I'm,
yeah,
she'll,
yeah,
"Oh yeah, no, I get it." And you're like, "Okay, cool." And then you don't have those
right,
with her anymore because she just needs to know the why. Like she's just
right.
to know the nuts and bolts and all how everything works. Once you get that down, you're like Chris knows. Yeah, we both of y'all know. But yeah, once you get it down to that and lay the blueprint out, then you don't have that problem.
Yeah. So what's the most expensive thing you all have ever bought for your daughters that didn't make any sense to you?
Some sneakers.
Sneakers?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
they was 5 something.
I was gonna say, I was like when
Yeah.
Chris said that it means
But she is unproblematic, always been an honor roll, good girl. Like I didn't like it, but I can't say that I wouldn't do it again because she's just a good kid.
Yeah. I had to say dresses, like the prom dress
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
like
yeah.
I get it wanting to look good, but like we spent over a rack on one of my daughter's prom dresses and it was a one night dress. And I'm like, why am I buying this dress right now for this amount of money?
biscuit. No way, you can't tell me that wasn't biscuit.
You already know. You already know who it was. It was biscuit.
That's my girl.
Yeah, it was definitely her. So, what's your funniest or my bad, Jason? What was the most expensive thing you bought that you didn't understand?
We bought Shay a Range Rover for her first car. When you hear that, you automatically think it was like a Range. It was not a Range. It was a.
Yeah.
So she graduated in 2013. When she turned 16, I happened to be driving by on 39th one day and saw this Range. It was old. It was a 95. So they wanted. I mean, it was not a crazy amount of money, but they had already changed it from like the air suspension to regular suspension, so I didn't have to worry about those problems. They had done a bunch of stuff that made it kind of unproblematic as a first car. So I bought it and I took it to my mom's house and I did some work. I kept it in my mom's house for like 3 months. It was over there, and I would go over there every night when I get done working. And I polish it up and do some little stuff to it. We had some stuff that we had to fix on it. Like I installed the stereo in it. I put some subs in it. Like it was ready to go when she turned. So we gave it to her on Christmas Day. So waited till it was done, like did all this stuff, and like she was pissed because that was the time that I was usually at the house all the time, and they were all hanging out doing stuff, but I was gone. And she was talking shit because she'd be like, "Where's it? Why isn't Jason here? Always gone. Always got somewhere to be. Like he can't come hang out anymore. Like he's too cool." And then when she saw where I had been, she was like, "Oh my god, this!" I was like,
speechless.
Yeah, that was dope.
That is super dope. So, what's your funniest or weirdest girl dad moment that you can think of? Funniest or weirdest girl dad moment?
When we had to talk about the birds and the bees. And no, not actually talking about it. When she told me that she was ready.
Okay.
That fucked me up a little bit. Even though she was 18 and some change, I still had to like, wait a minute. But then also inside of me was like, you waited this long because your daddy was terrible. But you know what I'm saying? So like I appreciated that side, and then I appreciated her coming to me to like advice and have that conversation. So
okay.
Yeah.
I like it. Jason?
I don't know. Mine was probably the fact that my girls, I guess I was never nervous to have like to do like the pads, the tampons, the things. Like I just go buy whatever they needed.
Yeah.
And I go do like, and that was kind of funny to them that I didn't worry about it. Because I just go do it like, because I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I've been married to your mom forever. Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't get it.
I know how I go buy her stuff. Like, what do you mean?
Right.
It's crazy to me to come do these things. Like I'm not, I don't know. That was funny to them.
Yeah.
And I was the dad still that would be like, oh, honey, are we going down this aisle? Because don't you need something? It's almost,
right.
I'm going to make it funny and embarrass you the whole time. So
yeah. I don't think I ever had that problem either. I think Sheena really got me out of that early. You know, when she first, I think, at 17 going in or 18 going in and buying pads or tampons, that was already out of my system by the time my girls hit that age. So there was nothing like that for me to do that. So, all right. So last kind of light question: what's a trend that your daughter loves that makes 0 sense to you?
Naruto, however you say it.
Naruto.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
To
anime.
me, it don't. But
I'm old.
Both my girls like it.
What the hell is
Mhm.
that?
It's
What is
just an anime. Yeah, it's an anime.
Anime.
Oh, yeah.
Naruto.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Mine is lashes, dog. I don't get it.
I was
I
gonna say
don't.
the same thing.
I
I was gonna say the same thing.
never in my life looked at a girl and been like, she'd be fine as shit if she had lashes. If she looked like she had feather dusters
Yes.
on her face, dog, I'd be
Hey,
all
but let me tell you, that's funny you said that. But they do look different.
they
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 do.
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 They
But
do.
when Rissa doesn't have her lashes, she's still beautiful. But when she has them, it just gives a different like you blink twice at me. You God damn it. Stop.
Uh-huh.
It's funny to me because I've watched my daughter get glue in her eye. I've watched all this shit
Mhm.
happen because of these damn, and I'm like, I just don't. It just doesn't. I don't.
Mm.
I just
Listen, I was taking Essence to the movies yesterday driving. She has her mirror down and putting her individual lashes. She did it in like 2 minutes.
Mm-mm. I don't get it. I can't.
Yeah, it's
I said
yeah.
the same thing. Lashes and
And
then
they look like little spiders because they do the individual ones. So when I see them
Mhm.
on the sink, I'm like, what the? Uh,
Get scared. What the
right.
oh, those
Just
are lashes. All right. Yeah, lashes are the thing that I can't go without my and they'll put them on to go work out. They'll put them on to play a volleyball game, and I'm just like, Biscuit will put them on, they be real big, and I'm like, "Girl, can you see? Like, what is going on?"
that's funny. I said that last week. I'm like, they're not heavy.
Yeah, right. Like, I
no,
feel like I wanna be able to open my
well, Biscuit
eyes.
looks like she's got fur coats on her eyes. Biscuit look like she put like those fur wraps because her shit look like snow.
Uh-huh.
Her shit just like you catch the wind when she blinks. You're like, oh, damn, like
Gonna get me in trouble. Get me in
she loves
trouble.
me,
Right.
right?
But I know how to go to the store and buy them now too.
Right, right.
I know
Yeah.
the length and everything now.
Mm-mm.
You'd be in trouble if I went. I'd get
Yeah.
I
Nope.
would
Y'all can get your own lashes. Y'all
Right.
got it. Y'all got it.
But
So,
now if you go to the hair store, it's cheaper if you buy the big old pack. They only $10. Just FYI.
okay. So
Uh-huh.
they've been buying theirs from Walmart. I need to tell them, go to the hair store, save
Go
me
to the
some
hair
money.
store and cheaper. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Save me some money. So kind of the tension with being a girl's dad, if you think about the way that you were raised versus how having to raise your daughters, what comes to mind of like some of the differences there?
Um, my kids are privileged. I didn't have a dad, so they have an amazing dad. I'm tooting my own horn. So I felt like I've always given them the world, and then I got divorced early, so I felt like I had to give them the more world, even more, give them the world too. So yeah, it's just been a great journey, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
my kids. See, my shit was reversed. I was spoiled and privileged beyond measure when I was little. But when my kids were born, we didn't have shit, so I couldn't spoil. I spoiled them as much as I could with what we had. But uh,
Mm-hmm.
as far as that stuff goes, to me, my my dad let me do whatever the hell I wanted to do. I didn't really have a lot of, as long as I wouldn't do anything illegal. I was pretty good to go. But
Right.
my daughter, I didn't let her out of the house. Like you can go out of the house, out of the yard. We had a fence around the front of our front yard, and she didn't go out of that fence until she could drive out of that fence, unless she was with me or her
I was
mom,
gonna-
or grandma. Like she did not. There was no go. And like my son, he just, as soon as he hit the ground at 16, he was out. Like he could go do whatever he wanted. She's just, she's pissed about curfew being later for him, and I didn't worry about, like, he didn't have to call all the time. And I'm just like, I know what he's doing. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, and I know the difference of what can happen to him and what can happen to you. I was like, he would be the problem out in the world that would get himself into trouble. I was like, you are different. You need to be treated. And so both of my daughters got a little heavier on the don't go out in the world from me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's been that it's been it's what's sort of for like a spectrum. Like my oldest daughter, Elisha, she definitely got that. Like you can't even look at a boy like until you 18, 25, 32. Like no boyfriends, you're not going out by yourself, those kind of things. Super strict with those kind of things. And then I think Nautica Biscuit, our middle child, I guess she's middle. Anyway, she's the bougie diva one. She kind of we like went the other way with it a little bit, where we're a little too lax with it, trying to make up for what happened with our oldest. You know what I mean? And so we gave her a little bit too much rope. And then I think with the twins, we've kind of got it because they're dope kids. Like they're all of my kids are dope kids. The twins are super dope kids. They don't smoke, don't drink, don't have no desire to. They focus on school, college. They want to go be nurses. One of them wants to be a CRNA. Like
That is perfect.
they're super focused. And so we've had to learn of like, okay, well, you've shown through your actions. And my oldest daughter showed this early on, but we didn't give it the credit it was due, right? Where, the twins, like they've showed us your actions, showed us you can be trusted. And so we'll give you the ability to go out and do some things. Now, if you,
Right.
mess up, then we're gonna have a different conversation. But there's gonna be other things where it's like, nah, you're not doing that one. Like, we'll
Right.
let you go to this little house party get together thing, but you're not going downtown to Bricktown on a Friday night and hanging out. Like you're not doing that kind of thing, right? Like, so we've had to learn and fine tune, and we think we've got as good as we can with the twins, but it's definitely been a trial and error with the first ones, for sure. Uh, and so I coming to mind with that, like protecting versus empowering. Like, how do you find a balance with that with your girls? Protecting versus empowering.
For me, I think it's just when my daughter, well, all my kids, we have just like a open communication. Like you can come to me to talk to me about anything. I don't care what it is.
Mhm.
So just having that, I think that communication allows us to have that balance to kind of like, I know when to like be super protective. As I had to learn it because like I'm super overprotective over my babies.
Mhm.
I felt like as any parent should be, but like I kind of had to like you said, like loosen the rope a little bit because the world is crazy.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But I also had to realize like I'm doing a good job. I got good kids. They're unproblematic. They're not on drug. They're not in the streets. You know what I mean? They're great kids. So
Right.
I kind of like once we moved to California and COVID eased up, I kind of like allowed them to do shit that I was doing because I was at the parties at 12, 13, 14. I was early at the parties. So
Mhm.
it was definitely different. So I loosened up for them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then
I,
when it's time to like empower, like I think we do that every day just in conversations.
Mm. How so?
Just I let them know that, again, like I encourage them, I pour into them every single day. Um we kind of like in our group in our family group chat, like we pour into each other every single day. Like, we like race to say good morning first and y'all have a blessed day. And we send like Bible verses to each other. So it's just kind of like we all like equally like, pour into each other.
Okay. Okay. That's cool.
yeah.
Jason?
I think I could have done more on the empowering. Well, I say that I I protected a little too much. I could have done better at not protecting as much because then it wouldn't have been more of a go out and discover the world on your own kind of thing. I could have done a little more preparing
Yeah,
for,
yeah.
but at the same time, like we did a lot to empower and embolden our girls into being comfortable in their skin.
Yeah,
So
Mm.
yeah.
the school, like you couldn't there was nothing you could say to either one of my daughters that would have got them in their head about how they are or how they look or who they are
Mhm.
as my daughter.
Mhm.
You all have both seen my daughter. She's curvy as hell, has been forever. And Big Booty Judy was her nickname in high school, and she put that shit on a sweatshirt and wore it and was like,
Mm.
"What up?"
My youngest right
Yes.
now, can't,
She
yeah.
She put that shit on a hoodie and wore it to school and was like, "What up? Like, this is my nickname now. Like, what's good?" So she like legit. There was literally nothing you could do, and so I
Yeah.
we did that from a very early age. So because we knew what the world was going to be like, we knew that the shit that people were going to say, and so we wanted
Mhm.
her to go in with a strong enough mindset that none of that bothered her. So we did
Yeah,
get
yeah.
with all of our kids. So that was a plus as far as the empowerment side goes. But as far as the protection thing, I do still think I rode a little hard on the protection side for both of my
Mm.
girls than I did
Mhm.
for my son because I mean he's he's just a hard headed jackass that goes out and does
I
dumb.
mean, and I feel like boys are great, but they need that tough love and that love as well too.
Yeah. No,
Mhm.
yeah, definitely. It didn't keep mine from going out and trying to set the land speed record for Jacksonville, but hey, it's cool.
So before I give my answer, I'm curious, Jason, like how do you then with your daughters being 30 years old, how do you change that up now? or how have you changed that up, that protective mode, and leaned more towards empowering? Obviously, they're not kids and they're not in your house anymore, so it's a little bit different. But I'm curious if there's been, how do you have you changed that over the course of time?
There's been conversations that I let them know that, I've had with both of them and let them know, like, I was still learning with y'all. So I
Right.
understand. And they've been gracious enough to allow me to kind of atone for that kind of stuff and say, I should have let up a little bit. You shouldn't have to have learned about this stuff so late in life or after the fact. So you would get yourself in situations that you probably weren't as as good for your benefit.
Right.
You're just trying to learn it on your own because I didn't, we didn't teach you. We didn't allow that kind of shit to happen. So you didn't get to organically learn it. You force learned it because you were just going to rebel against the protection. But at the
Right.
same time, I let them know now, like, the protection part of me will never go away completely. I'll always want to protect you guys no matter how old you get. But at the same time, you know, you're old enough now. You can make these decisions. You've lived a life that this is how, and if you ever, and they know if they have questions about anything, they can talk to me. And it took too long for them to learn that or to know that, but they understand that it wasn't because I just wanted to be mean or just wanted to be controlling. They just knew that I didn't want anything bad to happen to them. And they appreciate it now that one of my, now that my one daughter has kids, she appreciates it. The other one's neurotic enough to have appreciated it all the time. She understands why it was what it was. But now that my other daughter has kids, like, she understands why I was the way I was, because there's just a level of that. And I explained it to my son the same way. Like, you're just never gonna know until you have kids of your own.
Right.
He couldn't understand why I didn't want him to have a motorcycle or why I don't want him to act like a jackass when he's behind the wheel of a car. I'm like, you're just never understand. Like, I'm a man, so I understand feeling like I have it no matter what happens. Like, that's not gonna happen to me. Like, I've said those way too many times.
I feel like, the I told you so, or like my dad told me that, like, oh, my mom said this, oh, oh, now this makes sense. Like, I think my two have been getting those aha moments lately. So I feel like they definitely listen. They just be hard headed and feel like they got to learn for themselves,
Oh yeah,
which is okay sometimes. But
it is.
I'm trying to prevent this from happening, so that's why I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I've told all my kids. I said, it's like I handed you a roadmap and you used it for toilet paper. Like, for what?
That part.
I tried to show you how to avoid these pitfalls that you now find yourself in, and you're coming back to me like, oh, I probably should have listened to you the first time. Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
You like,
I wasn't wasting my time, but clearly it seems like I was. But now, yeah.
Right.
Listen, I know there's that, and my kids have said it to me, like, some people just got to learn on their own. And I said, listen, a smart man looks at somebody else touch the oven and burn their hand and say, oh, that's hot. An ignorant man says, he burnt his hand, let me touch it too. And,
That part.
again, after that, if I tell you this, that it is hot, and you see the burns on my hand, the scars on my hand, and you still choose to do it, don't, like, that's stupid. That's it. I get it. Like, I get it. I understand it, especially as a therapist. Like, I understand it. And it's still stupid. Like, and that's me too. Like, my mother tried to say things, my dad tried to say things, when he was around. Like, and I still went out and did stupid stuff, right? Like, so I get there's some naturalness in that. And there is like a lot that our kids can learn from us if they would just listen and look at our scars and our burns on our hand, but they just don't want to do it.
And this is why we telling y'all.
Right.
We've been there, done it. Y'all think y'all know everything.
Right.
Everything that y'all are doing and have done, we just ain't had no cameras.
Right.
I called.
We had cameras, but it was the big one on the show. You know what I mean?
Right.
Until the little flip joint came out.
Yeah, there was
still wasn't recorded.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
wasn't really hiding that camera. But no, like, I called both of my parents at different times while I was raising both my kids or all my kids, and I'm like, listen, was I ever like, I knew I didn't know what I didn't know, right? And my dad was like, I mean, yeah, what do you mean? I'm like, I never tried to convince you or anybody else that I knew some shit that I knew that I didn't know, right? And he's like, no, you were pretty good about coming to me if you didn't know some shit. And I was like, I know I'm not going to be dumb enough to say I always listened to you telling me. And he goes, not always, but most of the time. And I'm like, all right, I'm just checking. I was like, damn, I was just hard headed as shit. Like, I've owned 3 motorcycles in my life. This kid has owned 0 motorcycles in his life, and he's trying to tell me all about motorcycles. And I'm like, bro, why? And it's worse when he had his he used to have his little friend that come along with him and co-sign on everything. And I said, both of them together don't make half a moron. So how are y'all going to take me? What the fuck? I know, like I'm
Right.
old as shit, and I have lived 3 lifetimes, and you guys would never even attempt to accomplish. And you're
Right.
going to tell me, both of you idiots standing here, going to try to tell me some shit? I'm like, come on, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So going back to that protecting versus empowering, I think what I've learned is like I really like tried to. I think early on, when my oldest tried to get her to do what I wanted her to do,
Yes.
and I thought I was protecting. It was protection, but I was like trying to make her go the way I wanted her to go. And I've learned, I think, over the course of time, of like empowering is allowing them to go in a direction they want to go. The
Mhm.
protection is like looking out for the things that they may not be able to see, but not
Yeah.
trying them necessarily to get off the path they're on, if that makes sense, right? Like,
100%. Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
you might want to think about this. You might want to do this, or hey, you might watch out for that, but I'm not going to tell you to not do something that you're doing. If you feel like that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. And that's empowering them while protecting them is seeing the things they don't get because of how young they are. They're just not going to understand. So, uh, what, so going maybe a little bit deeper. I'm curious, what scares you all most about raising daughters or granddaughters in today's culture?
I'll let you go first, Chase.
Man, so much scares me. Um, Especially having, there's lots of different ways to go. Like I have mixed granddaughters. I have, they're so young. My daughters, and just I don't want to leave them a world where they are reverted back to less than what we fought so hard to get them to be.
Mm.
They're having rights stripped away left and right daily, and that's not a world that I ever pictured leaving, to my daughters or granddaughters. Like it just is not. And it's bad enough for my daughters. Like I can't imagine how bad it's going to be for my granddaughters. Like it's scary to me
Mhm.
to see the kind of the climate of the world, how things are shifting today, and trying to teach them to be positive, to be, to be bold, to be positive, to be, trailblazers, to be all these things. And the world is legitimately against them on every level. Like if you look at it, like as mixed girls, as girls, period, as whatever you want to call it, however you want to classify it, it just is not it is not a kind world for females right
Mhm. Yeah, Chris, I know you got something on your mind. I can see it in your eyes.
I mean, it's like Jason said, like it's so much. I mean, I guess goes back to kind of low key like the first question. Like, I feel like, I mean, there's some women that are creeps too, but like it's more men that are creeps and just kind of like, I don't know, man. It's just kind of, it just baffles me because you teach your girls this, you teach your girls this, how to protect themselves or how to be, how to navigate the world. But then there's always something that can possibly protect that or somebody that can take that away from them or strip that away from them. And I'm not there to protect them.
Mhm.
now.
That I don't know how I would even handle that or manage that. But I don't know, bro. It's just it's so many weirdos, and and weirdos on different levels. You know what I mean? It's like categories of them, and it's just that's what worries me. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to like stop my girls from enjoying life or doing the things that they want to do, or different experiences that they want to do because of the weirdos. But to be aware, if that
Right.
makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, for
Well,
sure.
and,
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
hard
I
to
think that,
instill. It's hard to instill kind of the knowledge of it without the fear. You don't want them to walk around in fear,
Mhm.
but you want them to
Right.
be situationally aware and know what's going on. But to your point, like the creepy side of things, like we're seeing day in and day out how the justice system does not protect the females this way. Because there's that kid just the other day, the baseball player kid, the judge, he got busted. He had been assaulting a 7-year-old girl for 5 years.
Mm.
what?
And yeah, for 5 years. And the judge was like, well, I mean, he's a good baseball player. Like, we don't want to ruin this guy's whole life over a mistake. A 5-year mistake, son? 5-year mistake, son? Like 5 years?
Absolutely.
How do you consistently make a mistake for 5 years running? Like that's a pattern to me, dog. Like I don't.
Right.
It does not compute to me, and we've seen it time and time again. Brock Turner, those other
And
dudes.
how old was this person?
He's in college.
And you said she was 7? Like just 7, like the single digit 7.
Yeah, single digit 7. Yeah, and so to me, like that.
I almost said something that we would probably get canceled for because ain't no way. Ain't no way.
But and that's the thing. Like that's
that judge is sick.
Yes,
yeah,
The
absolutely.
judge, the lawyer, everybody in that room is sick if
And-
they ain't tear that courtroom up with that man in there.
And that's the thing with me. I look at it like, well, somebody needs to check the judge's search history, because if you're going to okay that, and that's a world that you want to live in, like, you don't have daughters. There's no way. It'd be like that. But this happens more often than not. People that do things and get busted for these things, they serve very minimal time. And there's people that and it's wild to me.
Do they still have World Star video? That's where I'm gonna be. Because it's just not. I mean, and I'm a protector of women, girls, and I don't even gotta know.
Yeah, right.
But you're not in front of me. You're not gonna treat them crazy.
No,
not in my presence.
I think the pinnacle you see that it is what's going on. And again, not to get political with anything, but the Epstein list. Yeah. That's boys and girls, right? But like the refusal for however many years, and that's why I say it's outside of politics. Has been both sides that have had this list for how many years at this
outside
point?
Of that, because they all on the list too.
Right, that's what I'm saying, and they're doing everything they can to not release it. And I think that's kind of the pinnacle of like how it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in our society,
until it's your child.
Until it's your child, right? And then it would matter, and then it would matter. And I mean, I share the same fear. I think I have this fear of and especially in Oklahoma, because I think it was about 10 years ago in Oklahoma, women had a 1 in 4 chance of being sexually assaulted. And, that's the stuff they don't talk about, they don't share, they don't want to tell, they don't want to tell people about. And so, I mean, that's a 25% chance. And I have 4 girls. Now I know that doesn't equate to 20, like one of them is that's not how, stats work. Still 25% chance of being sexually assaulted.
That's high.
And we're at the crossroads of the major highways because we're in the center of America. So sex trafficking, human trafficking is horrible in Oklahoma. And so I think that's like trying to balance that.
Is it open carry?
Do what?
Is it open carry?
It is open carry. Yeah. Yeah. It's open carry. But I think that's where like the fear that they just don't get, they don't understand, they don't see that. And so in trying to not have them live out of my fear, have them live with having that kind of awareness and understanding of things that are happening around them, but not have the fear that I have as their dad, because you're right, Chris, like I'm not going to be there, especially with the twins. This is their senior year. They're going to try to go to college next year. Like with them going to college, like I'm super worried about that. You know what I mean? Not that they're going to be out partying. I don't think they will. They may be, they're going to be adults and college kids. They might be, but the chances of them, having something slip to them or something like that, me not being able to protect them, bro, that's my worst fear, man, is their, because it's not just about that moment. It's about like their identity gets shattered. If they experience that, their identity gets shattered, it affects relationships, it affects therapy is good and stuff like that. It just takes a long time to heal from something like that. And I've sat with people like that, and that have experienced that and going through that. And I just, man, that's one of my worst fears, man, because I just know how bad it actually is.
Right.
And I don't want them to go through that.
No, nobody does. But like what you were saying, like with the trafficking thing and being in Oklahoma, it's wild because right there on I-40, like you could be anywhere in a matter of an hour. And like I've got a really good friend that I grew up with. Her cousin never been seen again. Like she was in one of those parking lots at a home goods store right off I-40. Like legitimately, the off ramp to the highway goes into the parking lot of Home Goods. Our door was found open. All her shit was in her driver's seat, and she is just.
And people don't realize it could happen that fast.
Yeah. No, she was putting a bag in her car. She got snatched into a van and never saw again.
Ugh, bruh.
I watched a movie, but I watched Taken
Yeah.
with my girls
Mhm.
just so they can understand and know like how fast things could happen. That's why somebody could be friendly, like
Yeah.
they could be offering you all the help in the world,
Uh-huh.
but could be crazy and it could be a setup. So I just need you to be, and you're not always going to be aware every single time, but just be cautious.
Yeah.
You don't just talk to strangers because you kind of, what's your name? You know what I'm saying? Do all the things to, you know what I'm saying, to identify them as well before you decide to do anything crazy if you do. You know what I mean? So.
Mhm.
But keep that bear mace on your key tag, okay?
Mhm. Right. Right.
And
So,
that's scary. We didn't carry our friends, our homegirls didn't carry that stuff. You didn't. I mean, we
mm-mm,
didn't. It was happening back then, but
mhm,
not. I feel like not as much as it is happening today.
Not at the
mhm.
rate.
I think it was happening. You just didn't know about it
Yeah,
because
I think about that as well too.
because
It just
I've
it wasn't on the news
I
all
have
the time.
right. That's what it was. It wasn't on the news. Police and people didn't listen to it like they do
Right,
now. They still don't listen to it, but it's
right.
more televised and known about now. So you hear about it more. But I've have older clients that are women that say that it was just as bad. You just
Yeah,
didn't. Then they didn't listen. They didn't listen
yeah.
back then. And it was that
And they don't listen
what did
now.
you do to deserve it? What did you
Yeah.
do to deserve it?
Yeah. What were you wearing? What was
Right.
happening at the time? What did you say? What did you do that provoked it? Yeah. Well, and you
Mhm.
think about, I mean, you can go as far back as Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby was doing that shit in the 70s, and all these
Mhm.
women felt like they couldn't say anything at all. Or stuff
Mhm.
has happened on all sides of Hollywood, and people try to report it, and people don't listen to them. So it just,
I have an opinion on Hollywood
Mhm.
because
all them shit.
I've been. I mean, this is as of the past 6 years, I've been to some Hollywood parties.
Right.
And them Hollywood parties, everybody,
Mhm.
I'm talking about, I'm like, oh, no, wait, you want to hit? Absolutely not. Like, why are you putting
Mhm.
that in your nose?
Yeah.
But
No.
like,
Yeah.
it's happening. And then I see the one, I've hung out with a couple celebrities and I've seen the women, I'm talking about clothes off,
Mhm.
ready, like, take this, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then when they get it, he took it. You just dropped it off. What do you mean? He didn't take it, you dropped it
Mhm.
off.
Yeah. The pick me's, the hoping for the lotto pick.
Yeah, like and so and again, and I also felt like a woman that I dated when I was 17 could say, "Oh, Chris did this to me right now."
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right now.
Buyer's remorse.
And
Just, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And so I think that's another subject for another day. We can get on.
But a lot of
But
that, honestly, though, a lot of that, though, the buyer's remorse thing, or that it didn't go off the way you wanted it to, so you know you got.
yeah, or he ain't call you back.
But the fact is, like the hardest part about it is that all it takes is the accusation, and your life is over.
Yes,
Mhm.
that's
Then
it.
then they come back with the apology and be like, oh well, maybe I made that
But
shit.
the apology this small, but don't know because don't nobody hear it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
apology small, but it's never as loud as the accusation. But at
Yeah.
the same time, there's no, like, the reason that this keeps happening is because there's no recourse for the people that are filing the false reports or
Mhm.
Hmm.
things.
Yep.
And so I mean, it does make people that it really happened to, like, it really makes it hard to believe.
Should I say something? Should I not say something? Are they gonna
Mhm.
believe me? Are they not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that goes on both sides, because there's
Mhm.
people that there's been women that have tried to come forward too, and it got denied, and just told that they were full of shit. Same thing with, Harvey Weinstein and all this stuff that was going on with them. Like, people have been trying to say stuff, but people just don't listen.
Mhm. It
Mhm.
was this that was talking.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
How much do you all let your daughter see your own struggles? And how much do you hide in order to protect them, your own struggles?
I used to hide, but I felt like they see it because again, I could be my facial expression shows everything that's going on with me. So they know. So they always try to cheer me up or like, Dad, what's going on? Or Dad, you want to go for a walk? Or like Kingston is like, Dad, I'm gonna give you a hug. And Harrison is like, I love you, Dad. So it's kind of like they just feel like they feel it. They know when
Mhm.
stuff going on. But like struggles, um, we communicate like we just honest. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So it's just kind of like, or I'm having a bad day, so I need a moment, like talk the rest of the day. Leave me alone for a second.
Mhm.
Like I just need my moment in time, and they understand that and they respect that
Mhm.
because when they need a moment, all right, you got it. Like I respect that too. So
Mhm.
I feel like I was bad about that. I was bad about that when my kids were growing up, because I just, everything was either I was my needle went to the left or to the right. There was no in the middle. I was either happy or mad about something. So but I could not articulate it to them because I didn't feel like they didn't need that burden of knowing what was going on, like for the struggles that we were like the real struggles we were having. So like
Right.
I talked to my daughter about that not too long ago. She was like, she's like, I never had any idea that we struggled growing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought everything was good. I was like, it wasn't you weren't supposed to know. Like I didn't
Right.
want you to know. Like I wanted you to think everything was fine because you're a kid. That's your job. Your job is to not worry about anything.
Right.
I was like, me as a parent, it's my job to make you not worry about anything. Like you don't need to know that we're struggling. You need to know that everything's fine and I got you. And that's what you knew. And that's all that it needed to be.
That's all it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so like mental and emotional struggle stuff, I never even, that to me, I didn't want to burden them with that shit anyway. So I never did talk it out or anything. And like now I can say whatever I can say, like my son, me and my son are on a much better, much closer level on that stuff. Cause I said something the other day. He came in and said something. I snapped, and he's like, "What the fuck's your problem?" And I'm like, "Oh, sorry." Like I was in another doing something with
Yeah,
something.
to bring it back.
Because I snapped for it was legitimately for no reason. Like I was in the middle of doing something, and he asked me about something different, and I spun around and was like, and was just way out of character for how I needed to respond to what he asked. And
Right.
he did, but he did. He checked me in that second, and I was like, "Oh shit, you're right. My bad. Like, sorry about that. Like, it's just I got a lot of shit going on. Like, it wasn't even you.
Right.
Like, don't take that personal. Here's the answer to your question, and keep it moving. Like, but I know, like, he and I are getting better because he's starting to try to communicate his struggles with me too, and it's hard for him to do because he can't really name all of it right now either. So he's having to make a lot of admissions that he wouldn't normally make. So he's learning, but I think I'm helping him by showing him what that looks like. So I think he's doing a little bit of work on that himself. So that's good.
Yeah, I think it's been it's been again having so many kids, bro. You just learn over the course of time. You make mistakes with the oldest
And you
ones,
parent them differently.
and you parent them all differently. That's
Yep.
that like parents don't understand. No kid has the same childhood,
Yep.
right? Like
Yep.
even if you have siblings, like I was the only child growing up, so I didn't have siblings. But no, even if you have siblings as a parent, none of you had the same childhood, even though you may think you did. You don't. And so, I think about with my oldest primarily, like she got all the stress. Not that she knew what was necessarily going on, but she got
Yeah.
the overflow of the stress through my parenting, right? And so I think now with the twins, I let them see some of the struggle that's okay for them to see in order to
Right.
let them see that it's okay to have emotions, and to feel struggle. I think one of the big ones that we've kind of let our kids see is conflict, between me and Sheena. Now it wasn't always done right. I'll say that. Like early
Yeah.
on, it wasn't always done right. There were some bad moments that we shouldn't have let the kids see, but I have sat with a lot of kids. I say kids, college students, and even older couples that their parents fought in the bedroom, and so they don't know how to resolve conflict, and they think that they didn't realize maybe how much conflict their parents had, and so when they're having conflict in their relationship,
They
they
don't know
think
how to handle it.
they don't know how to do it. They think it's
Yeah.
bad. They like, this is
Or you think it's
scary. I don't know.
okay.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
isn't okay. Like we shouldn't be fighting like this. And I'm like, you guys have an argument a week. Like that's not that that's not that
Right.
bad, right? Like, but they don't know what to do. They don't know how to navigate it. And I think that we've been able to, again, over the course of time, like we'll have some of our conversations that will be for us to have conversations that ain't for the kids, but they'll also see when we may have a conflict, an argument.
Yeah.
We're going to have it in front of them and like have that dialogue. And then if one of us need to apologize, we'll apologize in front of the kids too, so that they can learn like that conflict is a natural and healthy thing within relationships. And so I think that's one of the struggles we've been more open about as the kids have gotten older. Um, but like, I think like you said, like Jason, with like bills and things like that, like
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
talk to them about it. Because again, they're going to have those struggles in life, right? As they get into their life, they're not going to come out with millions of dollars at 18, right? So they're going to struggle. And so
Yes.
you say what?
Your kids will, because you got to.
Shut up. I wish. But like we'll talk to them about that and like budgeting and like, hey, it's tight right now. We can't do this. We can't pay for this right now. And whatever. And so we'll share that with them so that they can feel that's normal, but we don't necessarily let them see the full extent of like adult issues because we want them to focus on being kids. So there was a question that came up that I wanted to ask before we moved on of like, how do you feel like the world is moving faster than we can parent? It was an interesting question that popped up.
Yeah, I do, because I
Right?
felt like she was just born yesterday, and
Mm-hmm.
now she's a senior in college. So definitely moving a whole lot faster than I feel like I have time for.
Mm-hmm.
And now having two, so to your point earlier, like I felt like my oldest kind of went through the stress and the struggles, and me growing up, kind of I felt like her and her brother were like low key my little siblings, because I was still learning and going through it all.
Mm-hmm.
But the younger ones, the 15 and down, like they got a different dad. They have a listening dad. They have a dad that just kind of like is more open and allow them to express themselves. Because in the beginning, like I don't do no talking back either. Like it's what I said. But then I had to realize, like, until I went to therapy, like that's not how you handle those types of conversations. Like you allow kids to express themselves. So like, it's definitely real.
Mm-hmm. I think technology's felt like that.
Started to say
Like,
the internet, all the things, especially now with AI, it's going to be even worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's
These
been.
AI, I just heard I didn't mean to cut you off,
You're good.
but
You're good.
this lady and her daughter were in love with the same AI person on the radio today. Like,
What?
it's yeah, it just I was like, how are they? It's not a real person. It's not a human. They were both talking to the same person.
That's wild, bro. That's wild.
But I just with the internet and the way things are.
Let me turn this radio off because I don't want to hear this anymore.
Right. Like I don't even want to think about that. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the technology is crazy.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like my the things that you're finding out too about, like when my grandbabies were here over the summer, all they wanted to do was play Roblox. Now you're finding out Roblox is a gold mine for predators. Predators being there selling kit. Like I found this out the other day, and it just shook me to my core that people are like predators are out there telling kids that they will send them Robux and the currency for Roblox if they send them pictures of themselves in different ways. And I'm like, oh,
I'll send the picture. All right.
Right. But I was like,
send the picture.
I said I had no.
As a matter of fact, let's just meet.
Right.
How about that?
Yeah. Let's just meet up. Like to me, that's just shit. That shit that I had no idea about. Because like when my son was little, he got to play online and do all the online stuff, and it just wasn't it wasn't as prominent or wasn't as in the forefront as prominent as using it for a pedophile shopping ground. But that shit's crazy to me. Like I never really because I told him at the first, I was like, I don't care if you play Roblox, like whatever. And now that I found that out, I was like, you better not ever. You better delete all that shit.
Your boy, I know we're talking about daughters, but Harry, we just had to recently stop playing because he be talking shit to the people on the game.
Of course he does.
Or he was like, boy, you don't know me. Your mama got a big back. I said, wait a minute, who are you talking to? I'm thinking he's talking to one of Kingston's friends that he played with. Now, I'm a stranger. We're turning this off.
Oh my gosh.
It was funny because he gonna talk his shit. But yeah, we're gonna turn this off because I ain't doing no strangers. I don't do that. I can't.
He's lucky he didn't have a camera on there because he would have given him the.
Bro, he would have been like, what?
Man, listen, my son got the worst mouth when he's playing online with people, bro. It's like, who are you? Where does it even come from? Like, I've never said anything like that. And you're over here saying these things. What is wrong with you?
Yo, I probably have had 4 phone calls about my son because he's playing with other people's kids. Because it's like, does he always talk this much shit? I'm like, I don't even know where this comes from. Like, I don't even play games anymore. Like, I used to play Crash Bandicoot. That's the last time I was playing games.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't into all of that. But they love it. And I'm Not a fan. So when I found out you talking, oh, you don't know this person? Oh yeah, no, that's dead. You can't do this no more.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
not doing it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's been the struggle with, I think, primarily the younger ones, but oh, do we
My
lose him?
bad.
Oh, okay.
Somebody tried to
Uh,
call out the
oh, you
not
good.
spirit.
What's technology like? Parents go crazy over technology, and I think we got to a point where we just we weren't going to stress ourselves because like you have to teach your kids how to use the technology and be mindful,
Mhm.
and honest about things. And if you're trying to lock down everything and keep them from everything, and which I get it, like again, we weren't like just open, let them have an open internet, because
Right.
that would be stupid. uh, but it's not
But it's
like
not
that we
like that
didn't
we didn't
find
find
it's not like we didn't have a moment where our kids were looking at porn, and then we caught them looking at porn. And so instead of like locking everything down, which we did put more controls on, and we found out some things, but we had conversations with them. And this is our three girls, our youngest girls, Biscuit and the twins. And instead of going mayhem and burning the whole house down, it was like,
Yeah.
okay, we had conversations and we talked to them about why it was, this wasn't okay at their age, and why it wasn't. I mean, in general, watching porn is detrimental for your brain because it's fake. And with the men in particular, it's really bad for our brains as men. But just off top, like,
Mhm.
porn is not okay for your brain because it gives your brain an unrealistic idea of what sex is, and all those things, and it affects intimacy and stuff like that. Well, that's a different
No, you're
conversation.
speaking facts. I'm just
But
being funny, but
yeah,
you're speaking facts.
but so we were able to have that conversation with our girls. We were able to have that conversation with our girls, and like we would check every now and then after that, but we never had issues with it after that. Like,
Right.
because they were just like, we're curious, we don't know. And so that helped with having conversations about sex and talking about things that they were hearing at school and stuff like that. And so I think that's one of the ways that we've been able to, like, the world was going really fast, and it was like, hey, we're gonna catch it as it comes. We can't just because you'll drive yourself freaking crazy trying to keep
Mhm.
everything away from your kids off the technology. It's crazy.
Right.
What was you being funny about? I'm interested in
Oh
what
no,
you.
when you mentioned the porn, I was like, it does what to your brain? Like what?
like, don't give me an IQ test, shit. I'm get out your playing shit. Like we're talking about
So
7 minutes, how many to watch it? Because I don't
Oh,
gonna
I
depend.
mean, once a
saying
week is bad. Like
see, now you talking about having daughters, man. That's just one thing. I'm like, man, I can't do it, bro. I
no,
can't
you're
do
right.
it. I can't do it. And I got in-house, so just like
Right.
all of us do, right?
That
Like,
part. I know.
um my boys used to be so mad because Bashina lived with us when we were six. When we were six, I was 16, and they would be so mad. Like, I got in-house at 16, So anyway, and since then, but sorry,
That part.
ADHD all got off track. So the pressure you feel to get it right with your daughters. Talk about that, because that one hit me, bro. I'm like, I feel this pressure with these girls of like showing them what a good husband is with my wife, showing them trying to be a good dad, and I mess up a lot, but like I just, man, there's this. I think more so than I feel with my sons. Like, I feel pressure with my sons to like show them a good man, a good provider, and how to be more emotional, especially since I wasn't that early on. But man, it's just something different with my girls. This pressure I feel to get it right with them.
Yeah. No, that's real. And I think too, I think again, this comes back for me with my girls, like that open communication about life, about everything. Like just I don't hold nothing back when it comes to like outside the world. When it comes when we talked about the birds and the bees, like I was just honest with them with things that can happen, and it's kind of like I think that's helped us a ton. If that makes
Mhm,
sense, you know what I mean? It's just
mhm.
kind of like I don't feel like I would feel like I was set up for the world a little bit, but not enough to. I learned a lot of shit on my own as I grew, into an adult, and and then a single father. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want my kids to not know or not be prepared for these things in life, and not to be like, oh, when I go to middle school, like You know, there's going to be other kids that are going to be talking about sex and different things. Like, I don't want you to be like, oh, well, what's this? And I'm going to learn this. I'm going to do that. You know what I mean? So I felt like, okay, let's have this soft talk right now. 6th grade, 8th grade, we might go a little more intense because that's when things get a little more real. And in high school, you know what I mean? So I felt like just that open communication and just being honest and being straight up with them. It just kind of like, I feel like that helped a ton with that for us.
Yeah. The pressure's wild because there's so much riding on it. Like, you want
Yeah.
them to be good people, but you also want them to be protected. You also don't want, them to not understand when bad things could potentially happen to them, or that bad things are happening to them and they just don't know. So
Right.
you have pressure on so many levels to teach them how to continue to be a good person, but to be safe at the same time, and to not be taken advantage of, and to not be, treated emotionally.
And that no means no.
Right. Not to be, physically taken advantage of, emotionally taken advantage of, mentally taken advantage of. They're just it's such a tight line to walk and try to explain to them in such a way when they are younger like that, because they don't understand the impact of those things. Because if it's never happened, it's hard to get kids to understand things could happen if they've never happened, or they don't know anybody it's happened to. So they just they don't understand the gravity of any of these situations if they've never had any kind of connection with it. So it just is on us, I believe, to continue, like Chris said, the open communication part of it and explaining to them why it is what it is, and in a more educational than a fear way. Fear-based things don't really work that well, because once the fear wears off, without the education side of it, the fear wears off. Like, well, I'm worried about this shit for what? For no reason. Like, I'm out here worrying about all these things, and none of this stuff has ever happened. So why am I still worried about it? And then they let their guard down. But if you go a bit deeper into the education side of things and lay it out in such a way that they understand the why and the psychology behind it, that gets them more on the level of, this is something I need to be prepared for, possibly watch out for, possibly prepared for, always watch out for, but not let my guard down on eventually.
I think the pressure's increased for me since working with couples, because I see, like, there,
A lot.
I see, well, yeah, I mean, I see a lot, so twofold. One, of like that old saying of like, you marry your parent. Like, I don't know if you ever heard that, like, you marry your mom or you marry your dad kind of deal. So there's that, like, just that saying there. And then, like, I see it within the relationship work that I do. I see how the partners are reenacting parts of their childhood of like the opposite sex parent, or they're trying, there's things within the partner they choose that are like their parent that they didn't realize why they were choosing them. And so, like, seeing it like be a real time thing, like, it's added more pressure of like, I gotta figure out what parts I'm missing of myself so that I can try to work on those and heal those, and so that my daughters don't try to find a dude to reenact that out and fix that subconsciously, right? And so I think that's been, one of the get it right pressures that I feel, of trying to allow them space to feel and talk and feel cared for and protected at the same time, and not be over. Again, I didn't do this with my oldest. I'm gonna say that numerous times as I've learned from my mistakes, but now try not to be overprotective or overbearing. Overbearing is the word I'm looking for.
Oh, yeah. I got you.
Overbearing and just, I mean, at some points, just a jerk, right? Like, you're gonna listen to me, but kind of deal. So, because I see it, and so I think that's one of the biggest pressures of getting it right that I've felt heavily as my twins have gotten older, and Biscuit has gotten older. Um, so I think this might be the same for all of us, but I think this is a good question. What's the hardest truth you've had to face about being a dad to girls?
Hardest truth.
I think that I'm powerless, man. That I don't have the control that I think that I have. Not only with them, because I've raised them in a way to empower them to where they're going to be their own people, but also like that I have no control what happens to them outside of my home. And I think that that has been one of the hardest things I've had to face. that I can't, no matter how much I want to keep them safe and keep them protected, like I have no control. I have
Yeah.
no power.
And I can, so like when my daughter first went to college, probably asleep for 2 weeks straight because I was in California, she was in Texas. I wasn't able to just drive straight to pick her up, or I couldn't be there in 10 minutes. So it was tough. It was exhausting, honestly. But then I also had to like sit back and think that like, again, you did a good job. You raised this girl to know, the signs, to do all the things, and you got a good kid. She's not out here in these streets wilding and just doing, dumb shit like a lot of her friends were doing. You know what I mean? So it was just kind of like I had a good kid. So but it's real, bro. It's I don't know. It's a lot of things for me. It's tough to because I'm a protector. Like that's my job. So I would feel weak. Like I would feel like I wasn't like, even though it's completely out of my control, I would just feel like uh, I'm not enough, or I did something wrong, or I could have been there, or I should have did this week, or you know what I mean. Like there's always going to be a woulda, shoulda, coulda. But I would say I would just feel like you said, powerless or just weak because I wasn't able to do my job that I've been waiting to do. You know what I'm saying? Been practicing and doing, for this long. You know what I mean? So
yeah, yeah. Jason,
Mine's a lot like yours, like both of y'all's actually. Mine was the powerlessness of it all. Like I myself have been somebody who never drank, smoked, done a drug, done any of those things. So I always wanted my kids to be the same. I've never judged anybody who does any of those things. Y'all do what y'all do, and I'm here for it. I'm, a Project Safe Ride 99% of the time, designated driver all the time, do the things for the people.
it's made BD.
But but the thing for me is like I never hung that on my kids. I never said you have to be like I am, or I'm not going to love you, or I'm not going to. It's not going. So all of my kids drink. All of my, and I don't like it. I don't love it. None of them are excessive at what they do. Like they all went through their times of partying and doing their thing, and then it faded out. But like my son was crazy worried to tell me that he vapes or whatever, and like he kept that from me for like over a year. No, I like would see them around him. Like I'm not dumb. Like I know. Like he was working on his car one day and it fell out of his pocket on the ground. And he tried to like pick it up real quick, and
that's
I'm like,
not mine.
right?
Them boys always think they smarter than us.
I didn't say anything. And I kept it moving. I just did. I let him think he got one over on me. But eventually we had the conversation, and I'm just like, and I tell him, I'm like, listen, I was like, I don't love any of y'all any less for any of the stuff that y'all do. Just because y'all decided not to go the path that I went, that's not. I mean, I understand that that's not for everybody, and that's fine. I was like, and he's like, well, just as a respect thing, I'll never do it in front of you and all these things. And I was like, how that's your job. Like, I'm not telling you one way or the other, do what you got to do what you want to do. If it makes you feel weird, don't do it. I'm, whatever. But same thing with my kids. Like my daughter, smokes weed. She didn't want to smoke weed in front of me. And eventually she got over that. And, she still doesn't do it all the time in front of me, but if she does, she does. But, my kids that, it's the powerlessness of it. Like they're going to love who they're going to love. There's nothing I can do about that. They're going to, do what they're, however they choose to live their life. I have to just support that as a father and do the best that I can do as far as that goes. Because like you said, I mean, we did the best we could to raise them in the way that we wanted them to be independent and go on about their way and know what's good for them and know what's not good for them. And, all of my kids have dated somebody at one point in time or another that I wasn't particularly fond of, but I had to shut the hell. Like, I know,
motherfucker.
right. But like, so it was funny though, because I was in, I was talking to my dad when he was still alive on the phone one day, and he's like, "Is Jordan still with that girl that I don't like?" And I said, "You don't even know that girl. How do you know I like her?" And he goes, "Well, I don't like the situation she put him in." I said, "Guess what?" He's like, "If that was me, I'd tell her to break up with her." I said, "No, you wouldn't, because you didn't tell me that shit." You let me go. You let me date whoever the fuck I wanted to date, and you didn't ever say nothing about it. And I'm not gonna say anything to him. I was like, he's an adult, bro. Like he's a grown ass man. I'm gonna tell him he can't date a girl. Like, fuck out of here. No, I'm not gonna tell him that shit. I'm gonna tell him dumb for doing it.
I may give my opinion, but I can't tell him what to do as an adult now.
But I'm gonna bust the balls about it. Like I'm gonna be like, oh, bro, like really?
Because I'm definitely gonna talk shit. Like you gonna hear that. Like that's me.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get this work.
Oh, he's a bum, but we got it. Let's go have lunch.
Right.
Exactly. But I mean, and that's my thing. Like, and so that's the one thing about that I was like happy about. Like, I didn't ever force my kids to make those types of decisions. I let them do it on their own. And if they need help, I'm going to be there for them. But at the same time, like I can't live their life for them. That's their job.
Bro, I was 28 when my mom found out I smoked weed, and I was in my own house. And I ran. She came to my garage door, and I ran out of my garage because I didn't want her to know.
My mom, 69 years old with her parents, never knowing she smoked. Ever.
What happened?
My mom was 69 years old when she died, and her parents never knew she smoked.
Wow.
Ever.
Wow.
Hey, listen.
It was like, I would have never guessed. I was like, Mom, I get high every day.
I was 27. I was 27 and I got a back piece done, a tattoo. And I would not wear a shirt off. I would not take my shirt off around my mom because I didn't want her to know I had a back piece done. Like that's how much anxiety or how worried I was about her perspective, her thought, her criticism, or stuff like that, right? Like the way that she would respond to my choices as an adult, like at 27.
I was the favorite, bro. So that's why I was like, oh, she can't see me doing this.
Right.
Yeah.
My dad
care if she knew I smoked weed.
My dad shut the door and walked off on me because I got my ears pierced. I was fucking 26 years old. And he shut the door in my face and did not talk to me it took him like over a week to talk to me. I was like, really, dude? Like, are you serious? Like, he was
I'm a whole adult out here in the streets.
I was like, I only did it so I could pull Sarah. Like, that's the only reason I let her do it. The players across the hall from me. She's like, hey, I need to pierce your ears. I was like, shit. All right, dude.
And look at us 25 years later.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. I remember the first time I pierced my ear and I came home, my mother looked at me with such disgust. Right. I think I was 17. Yeah. I think I was 17 and I pierced my ear. Just the one. I didn't pierce both of them yet. Just the one. Bro, she looked at me with so much disgust. And anyway.
My mom took me when I was 7 because my brothers and my older cousins got theirs pierced. And I was like, I want my ears pierced too. And she was like, no, you don't. It's going to hurt. And I'm like, yes, I do. Oh, I cried, but I kept the motherfucking earrings. It was nice though. Both ears was that.
Man, yeah. So I don't know how we got off on that, but
right.
But shows the anxiety. Like I think it shows the anxiety that you can instill in your kids based off your reaction to things, and some things are okay. Like one of my twins has like 5 piercings in each ear now. Like, and at first I was like, oh no, just do one, it's fine. Okay, just stop at 2. Okay, and she's like, nope. Now she got 5 going up each ear, and I'm like, you know what? Another one, really? All right then.
Well, like my brother was the same way with Jordan. Like when my son used to have the biggest afro of the world, and my brother was always like, hey, make him cut his hair. I'm like, if his hair is the biggest thing I got to worry about with him, I don't give a shit. Because he was a kid, he didn't do anything wrong. I was like, if he wants to grow his hair out, I don't give a shit what he does.
Man, that can be a whole nother conversation. I don't know. Maybe we can have it now. Like with all of us having daughters with curly hair, what has the societal influence been on them with their natural hair? Have you noticed any of that on your daughters?
So yeah. My youngest one didn't want to wear her natural hair for a long time. She always wanted to get braids because she felt like her hair wasn't long enough. I'm like, your hair's on your fucking back. Just because it's not all the way down your back like the other little girls, you're not the other little girls. So we definitely went through that. Now she definitely embraces it. My oldest has always embraced it, but
that's good.
My middle child, she's more like my diva too. So Again, the lashes got to be on point every single day. So
Mm-hmm.
she's that one. So yeah, it's definitely been real. But I've always like let them know like you are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck what anybody else think. You know what I mean?
Man.
Like I've always went that hard. Like
Mm.
you are you. Nobody else can be you. Like you are beautiful. You're a queen. Like
Mm-hmm.
walk in and act like it every
Mm-hmm.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Biscuit had the biggest struggle because, like, so the other three girls have my hair, but Biscuit has my wife's hair. So she has the natural, froey, curly
Correct. Yep.
hair, right? And I used to, man, when she was a baby, I used to fix it up, do it all natural styles, all those stuff, Afro puffs, everything.
Yeah.
And it was so like over the course of time, you could just tell the influence on her to where she'd want to wear a wig so she'd have straight hair, or she'd want her hair straightened, or she'd want, and just now, finally at 20, she's starting to wear it natural more often.
Mhm.
And it's beautiful. And I tell her that it's beautiful all the time. But you can tell there's still this influence of like her
Still
hair
cold.
isn't necessarily okay. Like she needs it to be different than what it is. And I'm like, it's one of the things I wish I could change about our society is the way that
Yeah.
the
But
society
then also I
reacts.
feel like social media plays a part in that as
Right.
well too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you got to
Mm-hmm.
be 102 pounds and your hair got to be all
Mm-hmm.
the way down your back, and
Mm-hmm.
that's insane. No, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
Right.
Yeah. The Shay definitely hit the flat iron, the colors, the things, the
Mm-hmm.
wig braids, all that stuff for a certain period of time. But she got out of it. She didn't really cling to it as much as some of the other girls did. So she kind of hit that middle. I think it was probably far enough back before all that because social media was still pretty young whenever she was like
hmm
in high school and stuff. So she didn't attach that too much. But now with my grandbabies, that's what I'm more concerned about because their hair
Mm-hmm.
is gorgeous, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
ever like they both have their hair is so damn long, like they don't ever have to worry about like they got it a little bit of it cut before, so it was a little more manageable about probably right before the summer hit, and but no, they've always had really long, flowy, curly, beautiful hair. So I'm hoping that they don't mess with it.
I think my other daughters had kind of the reverse reaction where they wanted braids
hmm
and they'd have the people respond to them poorly
Sure.
because they'd have, the black hairstyle because they paled like me, right? Like even though they're mixed, they're
So they go through what my wife goes through.
Yeah.
right,
Exactly.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I mean, I remember we watched this video the day of Aaliyah. She had like these braids down to her butt at one point, and she just swinging them and loving them. And bro, the response that they get for just doing stuff, and they're black, Puerto Rican, and Hawaiian just as much as they are white. Like, but the response they get keeps them, I think, has affected them of wanting to do their hairstyles they want to do as well. So I don't.
Right.
I've seen it, both ways, but it's just something
Yeah,
that's stupid to me.
that's why
Ask them just hair. Be expressive with it, and
Right.
especially with y'all kids. Because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you get professional, unless that's your professional, whatever you're doing, ball out now.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's that my son. That's why my son cut his hair not too long, or like when he was probably 15, 16 years old. He got a job at the zoo working with a program that was for kind of inner city youth kind of deal, like where most of them came from. But he just got in because we knew people that worked there,
Mhm.
and he just got to apply to the program and kind of help with all that stuff. But they were having a conversation about something, I don't remember what, and they told him he wasn't black enough to have an opinion on what they were talking about. I was like,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
all right, do you have a scale
Mm.
measure said blackness? Like
Right.
I don't know. I didn't know there was I didn't know there was a scale for that. But yeah, no, he got in his feelings about that. He came home and had a deep conversation with me and Sarah. He's like, I don't know what this means. Like, where do I belong?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
My
like,
my twins, my oldest and then my oldest son, because our youngest two sons are adopted, so they don't have necessarily the same struggle. But because those four out of the five are my complexion, they've all got that same thing where they've
Right.
doubted their ethnicity, they've doubted their credibility to be able to speak on things. They've like got that reaction. Whereas Biscuit, because she looks more like my wife, looks just like my wife, same skin tone, hair, everything. She doesn't get that same second guessing.
right.
And so she can speak on things and be a part of things that the other ones get the
Right.
backlash
Fuck
for.
that. Somebody better speak up. Fuck you.
Right.
No,
Oh,
absolutely speak up
already. That's what I've
every
already told them
time.
that. Right. Yeah. I
My
tell them
my
that every
my
time.
my homeboy Y'all know how light Rissa is, and I think I've seen your kids once, but he black, and his kids got bone straight, like they look like they're white Caucasian kids all the way, but they are 100% black, and they are definitely going through that right now in school because he's in 9th grade, his daughter in 7th grade, so they've been giving him the business because his daughter speaks up for everything,
Right.
but he looks like Becky with the good hair.
Right.
But it's not, you know what I mean? So it's just, they're like battling that right now and saying, you're not black, you can't talk like this. Like, yes, I am.
And it was funny too, because like, it's not like Jordan was trying to be on the opposite side of the argument. Like he was siding with,
Right.
He's on the right side of history in this situation, but they still were just like, you can't even have an opinion on this. And I'm like, allies are allies regardless. Like I'm going to stand up and stand beside y'all like 100% of the time, all the time. Like regardless,
He ain't have his Uncle Chris yet to give him a quick ass comeback to eat him up yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Because then he would have messed their head up.
Yeah. It was a wild
They'd have been sitting there thinking like, oh, he right. Dumbass.
He was so like, it pissed me off because he was so genuinely hurt about it. Like my daughter, my daughter gets confused for being Mexican all the time. Like people think she's Mexican because of her skin tone. So she doesn't even get, but she still never got anybody telling her she didn't belong in any conversation. But my son, he just did not understand because he was just like, what? Well, I don't know what that means. I'm like, oh.
Nautica gets questions if I'm really her dad or not. I'm like, listen, the way biology works, biology works is not everybody comes out the same.
That's crazy.
Control C, Control V on her ass because she looked just like she.
Right. Right. Like she a carbon copy. Right. So what's one thing we can do as dads to help our daughters feel stronger, safer, and more supported in a world that's nuts?
Encourage them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
let them
I would say encourage for sure.
Yeah, got to encourage them. Got to stand 10 toes down for them. Let them know that they always have a safe place to land if anything is to happen. That they've got you to come.
And we always gonna have your back. Always gonna have your back.
Yeah, I think it's a mix of like what you said. Encourage them, give them space to come and talk and ask for advice if they want it, or just to vent if they want to. And then also the way that we treat our wives, the way that we talk to our wives, treat our wives, have conversations, empower our wives. I think it trickles down to our daughters and helping them feel stronger, safer, and more supported and empowered. And so I think there's a lot to that question. Any other thoughts on raising the girls in a world that's nuts before we wrap it up?
Shit. Honestly, be honest, be straight up. Just be straight up. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I feel like, again, this comes back to open communication. Like I feel like this has been great for us. So I feel like just be open. You know what I'm saying? As open, age appropriate for your children. You know what I'm saying? Mine might have been a little bit older, more mature because my mouth's slick, but they got it. And here we are. You know what I'm saying? So be honest.
I would say be honest and be fearless. Like be fearless to have the conversations, be fearless to confront things head on. Don't be so afraid about the fact that they're females and they're, whatever it is they want. Just take these conversations head on and let them know. Like both of you guys have talked about things about having conversations that may need to wait a little bit and say, hey, we're going to put a pause on this until you get a little bit older, then we'll discuss it in a different way. And I think it really takes a lot of courage to have those conversations, but you have to understand that what you're doing in having these tough conversations or these uncomfortable conversations may be the difference between how they navigate the rest of their life. And it's it's very important.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things I think is men need to learn, especially dads of daughters, non-sexual physical intimacy.
Yeah.
Showing your daughters non-sexual physical intimacy, love them, hug them, kiss them, cuddle them, no matter how old they get, like showing them that physical intimacy, that physical touch, non-sexual physical touch it helps just solidify their internal self and just and it helps prevent a lot of other things too, because if they don't have that, they're starved for
Right.
that, you know, some little raggedy little boy come along and
Little
show, you
punk
know,
ass.
right, show her a little physical touch, she's gonna be like, oh, what's this, right? But man, I sit with men that struggle with that, and I get it, like, especially in the world is nuts, right? Like, you don't want there to be a misconstrued, but no, man, love your daughters,
I agree.
hug them, kiss them, cuddle them, do all the things, give them that physical connection that they need, because it's super important for their identity and just their sense of self. It's a super important thing.
I
So,
agree.
well, all
I
right.
didn't have that. I didn't have that growing up, so I make sure, like, my boys, like, come over here, give me a hug. You gonna get this kiss. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely
boys
love.
too. I
Yeah.
mean, I know we're talking about girls, but the boys as well. I mean, I still hug my son, tell my son that I love him. He's 22 years old. He won't let me give him a kiss, but I, you know, if he did, I would. You know
I
what
still want every now and then.
I mean?
I might
Right.
kiss you on the forehead.
Right. Right. So, yeah, show them kids that physical touch, man. That's so needed. Yeah, because I didn't get that much either growing up. I didn't get it from my dad at all because he wasn't there. My
Right.
mom every now and then, but I'll be sure to love my girls all the time, man. Give them as much hugs as, now that they're all older, give them as much hugs as they let me
Yeah.
give them. So,
Right.
um, all right. Well, let's. So I switched up the blitz today. Since you're a returning guest, I figured that we could do something just a little bit different.
Right.
So I'm gonna give out some scenarios. I want to get kind of all of our responses. Again, I haven't read these, so these are just prompts. But these are dad, husband, man scenarios. So the
Okay.
first thing that comes to mind, and this is for all of us. So your daughter brings home a boyfriend you instantly don't like. What's the first thing out your mouth?
So, like, it's the first time. I already don't like him. I met him before. Or this is the first time.
No. First time, and you instantly don't like him. So, like, first time me and he shows up, you instantly don't like him. What's the first thing out your mouth?
I'm gonna be like, babe, nope, nope.
I was like, who the
And
is this?
they gonna know exactly what that means.
Uh-huh.
They'll know exactly what that means.
Yeah. They're like, oh, you can't go.
Yeah. Nope.
Nah, that ain't it.
No. Your wife says she needs quality time tonight, but you're exhausted. How do you respond?
My wife says she's in quality time.
But you're exhausted.
I'm gonna be exhausted after we spend some quality time together too. Like, cause
Look, I ain't never been that tired. I'm telling you.
I ain't gonna be long tonight. The fuck?
Exactly. I ain't never been
drinking Red Bull.
right. Give it both ways. I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't never been that tired.
That part.
I'm tired right now, and I'm about to go get mine. Like, we're about to wrap this shit up.
Hello. Hey, you still up?
Right. You're going to sleep.
Right. I don't need you awake. Go ahead and lay it roll over, girl.
Just throw that.
Right.
Yeah, you have to take your CPAP mask off. Just roll
it. You've had the worst day ever, and your kids want your attention. What's your move?
Man, I got to give it to him, man. It's the only thing that's going to make my day better is that. Like, and I figured that out with my grandkids. Like, I used to let my days frustrate me or whatever. My kids had to deal with that, but with my grandbabies, like, I've learned, like, I got to turn that shit off and be there, because it really does, legitimately does. It's like an adrenaline dump. It's a dopamine hit. It makes you feel better.
Yeah, man, especially when they're young like that and they run up to the door to you, daddy, or papa, whatever it is, you know what I mean? And that excitement. Yeah. I think that the first response will be to give it to them. And then as soon as I can, try to get away a little bit, kind of de-stress, and then come back to them again if I can. So, looks like we lost Chris. He didn't know what do not disturb is, I guess.
Right. He lost that part.
Yeah. All right. So your daughter asked you about your biggest mistake growing up. Do you tell her the truth or filter it?
Nah, I'm gonna tell her the truth, because she's 30 years old now, so she's hearing stories she ain't never heard before.
Yeah. That's what my first response was like. Depends on their age. Like, if it depends on their age for sure, but I'm gonna tell them as much truth as I can, depending on their age. Now that they're all grown, I think I tell them more and more.
Yeah.
But all right, this
All
is a
right,
good
this is a
one,
good one.
and
And
we'll wrap it up since Chris is gone. Your wife asked, "Do you think she looks good in that outfit? What's your safest play?"
I always say yes.
I always say yes.
The one that I've leaned on sometimes, if I don't, if the outfit is not like what I think it is, I'll tell her it doesn't look comfortable.
Mm,
But like, are you sure
mm,
you're comfortable in that? Because like when it looks like when you sit down, it may not be as comfortable as it is standing up.
mhm,
And that makes her think twice about it. And she'll sit down and do the things. And sometimes sometimes she agrees and be like, well, I guess you're right. I guess it does kind of pull here. It feels like this here. But I have never outright been like, fuck no. Yeah, nah.
mm.
It look
Yeah,
like
yeah,
KFC gave you in a Ziploc bag. No, take that shit off. Like I
right.
don't ever say some dumb shit like that. I've never been the one to be like, do I look fat in these pants? Or do these pants make me look fat? No, your ass makes you look fat. Take the pants off. Like I would never in my life, like absolutely not.
Right.
But no, I've always just kind of played it that way. Like if it's something that is not as flattering as she would like it to be, then I would hit her with the it doesn't look as comfortable as I
Mm,
think I want it to be.
that's a good one. That's a good one. I like that. All right. Well, hopefully Chris's audio uploaded before he got cut off. Um, but we gonna wrap this up as if it did, and
I didn't.
yeah, and we're gonna see. Hopefully, since mine acted up the last 2 weeks and it still worked out, hopefully his will still work out and we'll be all right. If not, then
Will be redo it.
we're gonna have to redo it and figure it out. So, all right, well, that's it for this week's episode of the MAJO Podcast, real, raw, unfiltered. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us and joining the conversation. Before you click off this video, if you haven't already, hit like, follow, and subscribe wherever you're listening. Help us get this. Help us build awareness of our podcast. We appreciate the support from those who've already started support. If you haven't, man, we appreciate you hit that button. So share this episode.
Share that to somebody you think it would benefit.
Yeah, share it to any other dad, husband, or anybody you think needs to hear it. So, and again, don't forget to follow us on all socials at the MAJO Podcast. We'll be back next week.
Phone
Oh,
fucking died. It's not my day today. It's not my
oh,
day.
oh man. Okay. All right. Well, you good. You good. We were waiting for you. We did a few more questions and we're like, well, the only thing we really hope for is that his thing uploaded so that we didn't have to do the whole episode over again. So
Oh shit. You're
yeah.
right.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, we're gonna find out here in a minute. But so I do gotta ask this one before we go because I think I want to hear because Jason just put me on game that I ain't never heard before. So I want to see what you say. So your wife asked, if you think she looks good in that outfit, what's your safest play?
If I don't like it, I'm gonna say no.
Well,
Okay.
Chris Styles,
Like I'm,
Chris Styles has,
and I'm because I'm a stylist too. So like
Mm,
typically, like I buy her clothes or she'll be like, babe, I don't care, you pick it because that's what you do. So
mm,
most times I wouldn't say it, but if she tried to put something together, then I'm be like, nah, babe, I don't know, I don't like that.
okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I guess that's a little bit different. If
yeah,
you a stylist, so you got the fashion tips,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah,
she gonna expect it from you
yeah.
in a different way, I think, than maybe most women would expect it from their husband.
Right.
Jason put me on. He said, "I don't think that looks comfortable," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
I hit there with it a few times. I was like, I don't really look like it'd be too comfortable. Like with the amount of time we're going to be in and up and around and moving, and like when you sit down, I don't think it will look as. It doesn't look like it feels as comfortable as if you're standing up. Like I think
Right,
sit down,
right.
it's just sit down and be like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. And I'm like,
Mm,
And I mean, and that's low key a safe answer. Like that's
uh-huh,
yeah.
uh-huh.
Or are you comfortable?
yeah,
Right, right. Yeah, I think mine is that, right? Like, do you like it?
Yeah.
And I'll give, I think I'm at a point now with Sheena where I'll give her an honest opinion. Like if I'm like, I don't think that matches or I don't really like it. But if it's that in that way, you know how women be asking that, like, do
Yeah.
I look good in this? And they're really wanting you to say yes because they, because they're feeling some type of way. I'm
yeah.
like, do you like it, baby? Like, I like it then. You know what I mean? Rock it, girl, if you want to
Right.
rock it.
Do your
You know,
thing, show.
right? Do
Now,
it.
if it's a short skirt, you can wear it with me.
Right.
But if it's too short, nah, babe, leave that one in the house because I don't like it. Actually,
Yeah. No, you keep that out of here. You keep that out of here. All right. So next week we'll be back. Next week's episode, they don't need me like they used to. We're going to talk about the grief of the kids getting older and coming into adulthood and how that affects us as parents. So join us for that one. Again, man, we appreciate y'all tuning in for those who did and
Yes,
supporting us like that. So, Chris, once again, man, we appreciate you being here
Yes,
and
sir.
and jumping in last minute. Another great episode, bro. We're gonna have you back on again.
Definitely. Let me know. I'm with it.
All right, we'll see y'all next week.
All right, y'all take care.